Good afternoon. Me and the lads have been discussing something. We're after a striker with the transfer window being open, who can fill in for Alexander Isak when he's rested or injured, or who can challenge him and push him with having 4 competitions next season. And that got me thinking, which strikers also done that in the Premier League era, where they probably haven't been first choice and they're behind a clear out-and-out number 1. And there was only one name that came to mind, Shola Ameobi. So that's why I've came here today to Fenham. And I've got 2 questions. One, is Shola Ameobi the ultimate paradox? He can never nail down a regular starting place. He wasn't the most prolific goal scorer. However, he was good in Europe and he was the MackemSlayer. And yet he played for 19 years, 14 of those in the first team. So my question to you is, Shola Ameobi, is he a club legend or a cult hero? Let's find out. A very good Wednesday afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the Magnificent Mags channel. I hope your week's going well so far. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in. If you do like what I do, once this video is done, please drop it a like, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on those notifications. And do the same for my friends at Magpie 24/7, Magpie Ultras and NUFC 360. So yes, I'm here at the King George playing fields in the West End. I've came to Fenham because, yes, that's where Shola Ameobi grew up. And as I said at the outset of this video, we've been discussing this week in a WhatsApp group with it being the close season about strikers, and we need a striker obviously to challenge Alexander Isak, or a sort of one who's got enough quality who can stand in for him if he's ever injured or rested, or God forbid ever sold, and can carry on the goal scoring, because it's a big burden to bear. But it got me thinking, it led our minds elsewhere, thinking, has there been another striker in the Premier League era where there's been a clear out-and-out number 1 and they've kind of played second fiddle, and then when they get their chance, have they either taken it or have they never been able to nail down a starting place? And that only led to one person. It's Newcastle United's Shola Ameobi. Yes, he was born in Nigeria. He moved to this very place, Fenham. The next part of my video, actually, before I continue this, is he goes over to Walker to play for Walker Central Boys Club. So I'm going to cut to that bit and then I'll come back to this. So I'll see you in a moment. Now, after moving to Fenham and being at Murray House, the next step on Shola's footballing journey to becoming a Toon star was here, Walker Central Boys Club. It's now Walker Central Football Club, but I just wanted to show you around. It's just next to the Peggy Shepherd Sports Pavilion. That's just that thing behind the trees there, off Monkchester Road in Walker. And it's a fantastic looking place. When I was younger, about 2006, so nearly 20 years ago, I done my football coaching badges, and it was definitely on this pitch, but it wasn't AstroTurf, I swear it wasn't, and this fence wasn't here. So they've had some funding recently, and I definitely trained on that pitch as well, Walker Central's pitch. But got to say, it's looking fantastic. And I recently looked it up. There's next generation coaching on a Thursday night. That's for under 7s to seniors. And on a Saturday, Sports England have recently given them funding for Saturday soccer camp. So it's free of charge. And you can go there if you're between 5 and 15 year olds. So that's absolutely fantastic, that, for the local community, if kids want to get involved in football and be the next Alan Shearer, Shola, Alexander Isak, Bruno, Tonali. Just before I go though onto the next step, just want to say, if I can sneak in here, well, I need to stop there mowing the grass. Look how fantastic that looks. Beautiful looking pitch. I'm all right recording the pitch. It's all right. Beautiful looking thing. Just wanted to show you that. And he's doing a fantastic job as well. Have a good day. Thank you. So yes, this is where he trained before he was spotted by our academy, and they snapped him up in 1995. And that's it from Walker. So I'm going to move to the next location. So see you in a moment. Welcome back to Fenham. I hope you enjoyed that quick hop over to Walker Central. Now, the next part on his journey from there, his promise was spotted, so he joined Newcastle United's academy in 1995, and then on the 1st of July in 1997, at 16-year-old, he signed a pre-contract. Then he made his way through the youth setup, and he's made his reserve team debut on the 11th of October 1998 against the Mackems. And then he continued in the reserves for a couple of years, and then he was down County Durham. It was actually on my 13th birthday, would you believe, when I've done my research, the 8th of September 2000. He got a phone call to say, go and join Bobby Robson's first team up at Chester-Lee Street. And he went up. Bobby said, I'm thinking of putting you in the squad. And then, yes, on the 9th of September, he was in the squad to face Chelsea. And he came on in 2000 and he played about 22 minutes. And if I remember right, he rubbed up Dennis Wise the wrong way. The little short bloke, you remember that? Him who used to work for one of Mike Ashley's cronies? Well, yeah, he wasn't afraid to stand up to him. So that endeared him to her. And yes, now I want to discuss the rest of his career though. So let's get into the numbers a little bit more. He spent 14 seasons here, 13 in the Premier League, 1 in the Championship. In that Championship season, he got 10 goals and 18 appearances. In the Premier League, he got 43 goals in 294 appearances. So overall, that brings his league goals to 53 goals in 312 appearances. Then he got a smattering in the FA Cup and in the League Cup. And then he's second in what all-time highest scorers in Europe, only behind Alan Shearer. He got a brace against Lillestrøm in 2005-06 to take it to 12. He ended up finishing on 15 goals in 51 games. So his overall Newcastle United record is 79 goals and 397 appearances. Now, I know a lot of those were as substitute. He did play second or third choice a lot because we had Alan Shearer, we've had Craig Bellamy, and then in latter years we've had Andy Carroll, Pape Cisse and Demba Ba. Like I said, his debut season, he made his debut on the 9th of September 2000 against Chelsea, but he didn't score his first goal till January of 2001 against Coventry. And that season he finished with 2 goals. He made 22 appearances, that was 14 starts and 8 as a substitute. Mainly got a lot more starts that season because Alan Shearer and Carl Court were injured. In the 2001-02 season, he really struggled because we signed Craig Bellamy, and him and Alan Shearer were first choice, and he was beset by injuries. But he then had a stellar 2002-03 season because obviously we were in the Champions League, weren't we? And when Alan Shearer was suspended for big games away to Barcelona and Bayer Leverkusen because of his elbow on Materazzi at home to Inter Milan in the second group stage, Shola stepped up. Now, it was always a big ask to win at the Nou Camp, but he scored in a 3-1 defeat. And then at Leverkusen, on Bobby Robson's 70th birthday, he scored twice at the Bay Arena. So that was unbelievable for him then, to score goals at that level for a local lad. Now, this is where some stats go against him. Now, because he did continue into 2003-04 with double figures, which was good. He got 10 goals, and that's a season we finished 5th and drew 17 games, which cost the Champions League. But it was one of only 2 seasons in which he hit double figures, the other being the Sky Bet Championship in the 2009-10 season. So yeah, some stats do go against him. Some other damning stats: 43 goals in 294 Premier League appearances. That makes it 1 goal every 6.83 games. In all competitions, it's a goal every 4.09 games. And he has the 5th most appearances as a substitute. He did have an injury in 2006-07, I remember, under Roda. I think it was his thigh, and Roda sent him to be seen for a specialist operation. But then he came back in the 2007-08 season, but Allardyce didn't favour him. And after Allardyce was gone, Keegan didn't favour him, and he shipped him off to Stoke City. So it makes you think he was always second or third choice, even when Shearer had retired and before Andy Carroll came through. and we had Papa Cisse and Demba Ba. It makes you think, was he more just a long-term servant than a top-class striker and a club legend? I'll go into a few other things now. So why do we love Shola? Well, he had a unique, unorthodox style, which I've never seen in any player, I must admit, which was both memorable and irritating, but I always wanted him to succeed. 7 in 16 games against the enemy, when he got the moniker the MackemSlayer. That's the 8th highest ever in terms of scorers against them, and he's only behind the legendary Jackie Milburn in terms of goals scored against them for the club. He was loyal, a great attitude, never rocked the boat, loves the club, loves the city. He was a beacon of loyalty through turmoil and chaotic times, because from making his debut under Sir Bobby Robson, he went all the way through over 14 seasons and 2 divisions to Alan Pardew before he eventually went to Turkey. Now for the argument of him being overrated. Now, you know, in these videos, it's not me attacking anyone. I always be objective. You've got to look at the pluses, you've got to look at the negatives. And a big one for me is he never nailed down a starting place. He was never trusted as #1 striker. In over 14 years, that's worrying. Like, the only time he was, I could say, in all honesty, if I have to pick one time, is the championship season 2009-10. But then people will argue, was that his level? Because obviously we had injuries to Shearer, we had injuries to Craig Bellamy. He was still never trusted as the #1 striker that much. And then when Shearer retired, he still wasn't trusted so much to be the #1 striker. And then obviously when Andy Carroll came through the academy, he became our #1 striker, taking the #9. And then Shola got it back for a little bit, but then after Carroll sailed to Liverpool, then he was ousted again by Papa Cisse and Demba Ba. So it just makes you think, 14 years, a lot of managers still didn't see to put them in as #1. Hey, I just noticed that there. I didn't even notice there was a goal. Shows my awareness doing this. But yeah, 14 years and never nailing down the starting spot as a #1 striker. That really counts against him, and it shows that well, managers like playing them, and they could trust him to do a bit of a job. They knew they couldn't trust him to be the out-and-out prolific goal scorer that we needed. And that's the case when you look at it, even when we went through with troubled times before our relegation. We had players like Obafemi Martins, Michael Owen, Mark Viduka. He still wasn't trusted then, even after Owen's horrendous injury at the 2006 World Cup. Now, this is not me saying I like Owen, what he done to us, the money grabber, but I just have to say, even with more established strikers like that, he still couldn't nail it down. But here's one for you. If he came from abroad and it was a striker, say, like during those times, a Zisco, an Albert Luque, or a Luke de Jong, would he have still got the same leeway that he does? Now, I know you always get a little bit leeway as a local lad, but you also get a lot of harsh criticism if you're not doing well. We've seen that in recent seasons with Sean Longstaff. So yeah, he mightn't have got an easy ride as he did, or be hailed as the cult hero that he is, if he came from abroad. But obviously you do get a little bit of a pass when you're a local lad, because one thing you can never accuse him of was not giving 100%. He absolutely loves this city, he absolutely loves this club, and he always give 100%, even if he didn't fulfill his potential or hit the best of his ability at times. Now, you've got to look at the distinction between club legend and cult hero. A cult hero is someone who'll give you those special moments. So we'll remember his goals in the Champions League at the Nou Camp and away to Bayer Leverkusen, as I've went through before there. But club legends deliver for you on a consistent basis in the change games, so you can reel them off the tongue, especially from my era or one beforehand. So before I was born, obviously we had Kevin Keegan. I seen him, he was my first manager when I first started going to games. He was our manager, but you had Kevin Keegan in the 80s, and then you've obviously got Alan Shearer, Alberto Solano, Shea Given, Gary Speed, Robert Lee, and then you've got current players who, yes, they haven't been here as long as some of those, but they're on the way to becoming club legends, if they're not already, with winning the Carabao Cup. Sandro Tonali, Alexander Isak, Bruno Guimaraes, Dan Burn. You've just got to go through all that, and those players all come above Shola Ameobi. So this is why, in my opinion, before I give my verdict, it's putting them more in the cult hero camp than club legend. Because one argument, and I can still even say, is you've got high impact players as well who done it more regularly than him. Craig Bellamy, for instance, Les Ferdinand, he done more in a shorter period of time in those 2 seasons. And again, we'll look back at this. I could do this in a future video. What if Bobby Robson had came here from Barcelona in 1997 when Keegan resigned, or even if he waited till the summer, but he wanted to be loyal to them, even though Louis van Gaal was upstairs and basically waiting to take over his job. That makes you think, like, would he have came through still? Those sliding doors moments. But yeah, Les Ferdinand probably would have stayed. And if he had and would won trophies, would Shola have got a look in? And as the moniker that was given to him, as I've said, he is the MackemSlayer. Anyone who scores goals against that lot will always be remembered well. And you've got to look at Albert Luque. He's still in the Albert Luque wrapped it up chant. That's basically the only contribution he did for it, because he was just beset by injuries and he just never settled here. Obviously, you've got other Derby scorers, Les Ferdinand, Nobby Solano, as I've went through. But yeah, Shola 7 in 16 games against them. That's almost 1 in 2. And also, he scored some vital goals. 2012, that massive goal when he came off the bench to get an equaliser against them. You go to October 2005, the 3-2 win when he got the brace. And then you look at his other brace when we'd just been promoted back to the Premier League after winning the Championship. Derby Day demolition on Halloween when we're crushed Steve Bruce's Sunderland 5-1, and Shola scored the pen, and then Andy Carroll's header that rebounded back off the bar at the Leazes, and he just smashed it into the roof of the net. So those are things that make you always look back at him fondly. Hello, and you join me on the final part of my journey. Yes, I'm at the Newcastle United Foundation, also known as Newcastle. This place has been open since the 29th of March 2022, and among the founders and trustees who come and opened this place was Eddie Howe and Jamal Lascelles. Now, just over there, you see in the background, there's the Milburn, there's Pitt Street. So I'm only half a mile from St James's Park at the moment, and there's a reason why I am here. Yes. This used to be Murray House. When it opened in the 1930s, it was a place for leisure and training opportunities for local boys and men after shipbuilding started moving away from the area. And then in the 70s, it was reopened, and it was like a key local asset for the West End and the community itself. But then it fell into disrepair, and then Robertson Construction were given the job of turning it into what it is now, and I must say it looks absolutely fantastic. And yes, this is where Shola began his footballing journey, which is funny, saying he was literally here and then he ended up there. It is funny, but obviously the journey wasn't that short for him, but I had to come here. He says it was very key for him. It was a big part of his local community. He grew up a lot here, and it was a key place for him to go. And obviously he's talked about it a lot. That's why he is a trustee here, and he says it was a big part of his life growing up, and it was a key area for the community to go. As I said, it was deemed like a local asset that people in the area could come to and socialise and everything. So just to go through a little bit of what it has here, it has a cycle, fitness and dance studio. It's got a sports hall, and the big thing is on that roof there at the very top, it's got a 4G football pitch. Now what it does is it's an independent charity. It uses football to motivate and inspire people in the region, that's Newcastle, Gateshead, North Tyneside and Northumberland, to visit for sports, wellbeing, leisure, personal development and activities in a state-of-the-art centre. It improves physical and mental health, boosts learning and career prospects, and provides life-changing opportunities for everyone. So what's my verdict on the Fenim Eusebio? Well, great bloke, has all the time in the world for anyone. I met him at Stack last year, actually, just down the road there, at the fan event. Guess who else was in attendance? Paul Mitchell. Whatever's happening to him. But yeah, he was fantastic. I got a photo with him. But as a player, unorthodox, strong as an ox, never missed a pen, loyal through all the tough times, the turbulent times, loves the club, loves the city. He's our current loan coordinator since 2019. So that was in favour of him, but against him. Well, it feels like he had a lot of ability, but he wasn't the most skillful. You'd never say he was the most prolific striker, but a lot of unfulfilled potential. At times he had in different performances, he was frustrating to watch. Sometimes he was labelled as lazy, lethargic. That's why he got the nickname Shola Ameobi, because people thought he was strolling through games. So how will I sum it up? Has he made a lasting impact? Of course he has. But is he a club legend in my eyes? No, not compared to the greats who I've talked about, like Gary Speed, Alan Shearer, Peter Beardsley, Kevin Keegan. However, he definitely is a cult hero. So does Shola deserve a club legend label, or is it just because of his MackemSlayer heroics? Please let me know in the comments. I want your honest, objective opinion on his legacy. Is he a club legend, or is he more of a cult hero? Please let me know. I love the interaction. And that's it from me for now. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Again, please like, please subscribe if you do enjoy my videos for the latest one dropping in your inbox. And there's one last shot of the Millburn. Doesn't she look beautiful? I cannot wait to be back there in August. But for now, take care. Enjoy your week, everyone. Bye.